Hi motorcycle fans, Woman Wolf Rider here. Well, we've just been out for a spin, had some chips, and now we're going to head home. Yeah, just to reply to Sam Smith, he was telling about how he learned how to fly, all that sort of malarkey. And obviously in Wyvern Biker's final chip shop run, I sort of touched on the point that I was obviously a hang glider pilot, which is nothing like being a proper pilot. But I'll tell you a little bit about what I used to get up to. Went on a free introductory evening in Nottingham, and there was a full-size hang glider, and they showed us a few videos as it was in those days. And I think it was silent, I'm not sure. And then you could book a training course in the Peak District with the Peak Hang Gliding Association, and it was a weekend's course to try and achieve your Pilot 1 licence. So duly the students went up, we all met up in the Peak District, and the wind was gusting from 0 to 36 miles an hour. The two instructors said no, too dangerous to fly, and we said no, we'll be fine, you know. No, so we had to wait another few weeks. I think it took it into October, I think, and the first day we were tethered, each wing was tethered, the nose and the tail, and then we'd run on a gradual slope, and we got about, I don't know, 6 foot, maybe 10 feet altitude. Then the nose and the tail tethers were taken off, so we just got the wing tethers. Then we got up to about 25 feet, and then it was the first solo. So all the tethers were taken off. I think this was the next day, I believe. And we clambered up the side of this hill in a valley, and it was quite a thick fog. We got headphones on so we could hear the instructor. And we must have been about 50 feet up, maybe a little bit more. And we just launched. And we need to do a turn left, and then we couldn't see where we were going because it was so foggy. And a turn left and just sort of got talked in. Anyway, as I took off, over my radio said, "This is flight," whatever it was, will all the passengers, something. I mean, basically I'd picked up the reception of I assume it's Manchester Airport, plane going over, 747 or something. So that was quite weird. I didn't know I got passengers anyway. So yeah, we did that bit of flying, and then in the afternoon went up to, I think it was called Bunster Hill, and I've got a feeling it was about 250 feet, and that was the first really big flight, and it was fantastic, absolutely gorgeous. And soon after that, I bought my own glider. We used to go into the Peak District. More often than not, the wind was blowing in the wrong direction. You'd have a chart with all the different ridges and where we could fly and wind directions. And I got our own vent meter, so we knew what the wind speed was. We used to do a lot of pulling up of grass and throwing it in the air to get direction. And when we did fly, wow, it was fantastic. Absolutely. And the best memory I've got is going up in winter, snow all over the ground. I was in my Ford Capri at the time, so I don't know, I got into the Peak District, but anyway. And then you got to carry this glider which weighed about 50 pounds up the hill you were going to fly from, and then launch. Well, obviously you've got to, everything folded out. You've got this aluminium frame, ripstop nylon. You get it all out and then clip it together with R-clips, special fastening bolts. And obviously a pre-flight check was checking your cables, if everything was straight and not snagged. It was the cables that gave it the wing shape. Got to make sure those are properly tensioned, no damage, no holes in your wing surface, your ripstop nylon, and you're ready for flying. You make sure you clipped in and screwed up the carabiner. And if there's a few of you, just wait for a slot and then launch. We didn't have radios as private pilots, so we just did our flight and that was it. I can remember on one occasion I was flying from about 400 feet on a hill, and I flew out and I stalled. And I pulled in and reflexed out towards the end of the fall, and basically I lost all of the 400 feet, so I basically stalled, corrected and landed. And one of my old instructors was on the side and he ran over and said, "If I see you do that again, I'll kick your ass," because that was pretty dangerous. So that was that. I did, with some friends, they got an old Regalo kite. That was the original hang glider, which originally would have been made out of bamboo. But this is aluminium, 3x3, the centre and the two wing edges. And behind it was two billowed wings in a triangular shape. Very early hang glider. And they couldn't get this thing to fly. And on the same hill I had my incident. This is a different time. They got up there and they couldn't move forward. They're up about 400 feet. They got some wind off the ridge, so they're actually going up. And no matter what they could do to pull the kite forward, it was going backwards and ascending. So the pilot on board actually climbed through the A-frame, which are on the wrong side of it, to try and get his weight forward to bring the kite down. Anyway, it finally did come down. And again, the same instructor was there, probably with his students at the time, and said, "If I see you bring this kite on this hill again, I'll chop it up with an axe," because it was just darn dangerous. So I told you my story about the incident with the guy inverting the same maker's mine, and that was it really. I think I probably did about 20 or 30 flights. Quite a big drive from Nottingham into the Peak District, particularly when he didn't fly. So that and the problem the kite had, I thought, well, I'll pack this in and do something else. So I did. So that was it. That was my history of flying. Always wanted to fly a conventional aircraft. Love to fly an helicopter. I know those are really difficult to fly. But I think the price prohibits me doing that nowadays anyway. Okay, well thanks for listening to my babble, and I'll sign out. Take care, motorcycle fans.